through nature's tragedy, we find unity when we come together. Racism, we feel shame. No one wants to take the blame. Through the fire, we all will hang. With love, we can change when we all come together. How much more can we stand? A drive-by can take away the hopes and dreams of one's plan. Bless the fathers. Bless all the little children.
Let's come together. Good evening. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Somewhere out there in the world, there's a shout out to all of you that are listening and joining me here. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio, live in 487 Broadway. We do have a sitting audience for those of you that would like to come by and sound off. Personally, we do have a mic for our audience. We have a lovely studio here at 487 Broadway in Gary, Indiana. The views expressed by the host and the callers of this show are not necessarily the views of WLTH Radio management, owners, and sponsors. How about that lovely sunshine? It's just, wow. But it's deceiving, guys. It's warm when you're indoors and that sun is beaming. But what did we see this morning? That white stuff? I was not shocked, but I wasn't expecting it because I was on the choo-choo train yesterday, and I had Mars, my board op, to give us the weather. And so, well, I didn't really hear. Was there snow in the forecast, Mars?
I don't remember seeing or reading snow.
Right?
I remember partly cloudy, and that's about it.
Well, it's not partly cloudy because it's really nice out today. I wanted to share something with you guys, but I don't know. Oh, here, let's see if I have the page open. But light snow causes slick roads and multiple crashes. Really? Come on. A light of dusting snow fell on the region this morning, creating slick roads and multiple accidents. Well, we've been through it how long already? We've gone through it for many months, so you would think that people would have already gotten a hang of driving in this snow. How many years have we been out here? I've been out here since the 70s. I've been driving since the 90s, so I'm blessed not to have gotten, knock on wood, into an accident. But come on, guys, if you see that snow coming down again, be careful. Drive slow. So unfortunately, there were accidents reported this morning, but it's beautiful, it's sunny, and the snow is gone bye-bye. Well, I think, except for some spots on the sidewalks, but none other than that. I want to thank you guys for joining me here today. And I want to share something. We're going to talk about the youth, and we're going to talk about the elderly, how they should be protected, how they should be taken care of. Sounds like something that we should know how to do already, right? But I want to share something that I read on social media. And tell me what you guys think. This is the evening drive at 5 on Sound Off with E.V.E. WLTH Radio. The Regent's Choice call-in number is 219-885-1371. Happy Tuesday to all of you. And shout out to all those that are following me on Twitter. Thank you so much for following me. And it's about motivation and inspiration. But more than anything is to inform you that it is all entirely up to you what to do with your own life, with your own day, and take control of it and blame no one but yourself for any emotions that come out of it, all right? Well, listen to this, guys. Tell me what you think. If you are driving out there and you are passing through, honk and we'll know it's you. And I appreciate you for having me join you in your vehicles as you're driving, stuck on traffic, or just passing through. Put the elderly in prison. Well, when I first read just the top heading, I thought, what the heck are they talking about? Put the elderly in prison. Well, this is what it says. We should place the elderly in prisons because they will get a shower every day, video surveillance in case of problems, 3 meals a day, access to a library, computer, TV, gym, doctors on site, and free medication if needed. Put criminals in nursing homes, and they'll get cold meals, lights off at 7, 2 showers a week, live in a smaller room, and pay rent at $4,000 a month. It's pretty sad that we treat prisoners better than the elderly. What do you guys think about that? While you guys give it some thought, and hopefully you're not shy enough to call 219-885-1371, I'm going to read some of the comments that were posted with that. One guy says, and politicians in nursing homes too. Someone, of course, says, really? When was the last time you were in a nursing home? I happen to work in one. Medicaid pays most of, if not all, daily expenses. Meals are surveyed and tested for proper temperatures. There's no lights out unless the resident wants them off. Our staff sleeps over in bad weather to make sure our residents are always taken care of. Don't judge everything or every nursing home the same or lump us together. Now, this kind of post is just what I would expect from a politician. This is actually a post from a doctor. It says, Dr. Annette Bosworth think prisoners have it too flippin' easy as to glorify their time in prison, then I would invite her to visit a prison unannounced. Let her into the kitchens where inmates prepare food. Let her see these young people sentenced to prison for BS crimes that get raped, stabbed, beaten, and yes, sometimes killed by inmates who are there for more serious crimes. Come on now. Bosworth, let's get real. And for those narrow-minded individuals who fall for this type of nonsense and actually think that those in prison have it so flippin' easy, then why don't you go visit a prison? As for computer access, OMG, I know of not one prison that allows inmates access to computers. This post is such BS. This is why politicians like this just make my blood boil. If you're going to run for an office, then do it, but don't use posts like this lady uses to gain popularity. For there are many people who have no idea what prison life is like, nor have they ever known any who has been in prison. So for those individuals, you cannot judge something if you are not educated about the truth. In some nursing homes, there have been some bad things going on with some elderly. They let them lay there for hours. They get bed sores. They get beaten. They get abused. They get neglected. In some, not all. Someone else also said, my mom is in the nursing home and she gets #1 care. I visit 3 to 4 times a week, never the same day or the same time. Think before you comment on nursing homes. My mom has Alzheimer's. She was removed from a family member's home because of neglect and abuse of her and her finances. She now gets great food, is always clean, and gets the best of care. Thank her caretakers every time I go to visit. Okay, well, that's one. Let's see. Brian, I look at it like this. If criminals don't like prison and one writes, keep your bleep out of trouble. Obey laws. Don't rape, murder, molest kids, rob, do drugs, drive drunk, etc. It's that simple. You choose prison. When you criminals choose to do what you do, then you choose to give up freedom. You give up your rights. You like to fight, kill, etc., then go at it behind bars. Better yet, send prisoners to fight overseas since they enjoy killing etc. So much in keep the real men home with their families. Point taken. Yeah. I have a story that I shared over a year ago that it wasn't a walk in the park. But I also know that some inmates come out with degrees. So go figure, right? How about that? Then someone said, and this is an insult, but need to go to West Texas, Arizona, or New Mexico desert and build one giant prison. Ship all criminals there. Quonset huts, no air, no TV. Well, I got someone else saying, if anybody wants to call in and weigh in on this, what do you guys think? They're saying that prisoners get taken better care of than the elderly. Prisoners do not get showers every day. They have to request to go to the library. The TV is generally ran by either the guards or whoever the toughest person is. Most do not have gym, and they are not doctors on site. My friend's old cellmate almost died and had seizures because he has half a heart and epilepsy. They didn't give him his medication for a month, no matter how much he begged and pleaded, because he didn't want to die. The only thing that they have on computer is paint every once in a while. It's usually just used to email, which they are charged for. They also get cold meals and generally only eat rice and beans in most places. They still have lights off rule, and it costs an inmate about $400 a month to be able to stay healthy, do laundry, call home, email, get food, stamps, and letters. Your tax dollars mostly go towards paying the guards. I also don't see the elderly getting maces or beaten, having tubes shoved down their throats, and their bones broken because they say something a nurse doesn't like. The two shouldn't be compared. But if they are, people tend to be dead wrong about what it's like. Wow, someone else really had a lot to say, but that is too much for me to read. So just thought I'd share that with you guys. A lot of passionate people commented under that post pertaining to comparing prisons to nursing homes. Just thought I'd share that with you guys. And, well, what do you guys think about the plane in Malaysia? I know everybody's talked about it. And it's not so much that I want to talk about it because everybody's talking about it, but everybody's enraged, all the family members. How would you feel if you had a family member and this was going on somewhere out there and your family member was in that plane? How would you feel about that? Just think about that. Would you be enraged? Would you say that there was some conspiracy? Would you say that they should have known and they probably did and hid it? Didn't tell the media, didn't tell the public? Don't know. Think about that. And also, an emergency brake failed to stop a Chicago train. Emergency trackside braking system activated, but failed to stop Chicago commuter train for jumping the tracks. Wait a minute. Then something like, that was the train, I think, in the airport. Failed to stop. You know, there's so many things around the world that if you pay attention, there are deaths and injuries all over the world as we speak. So many things have been going on. It's almost like signals. Like, watch what's going on. Ask yourself why. Don't dare say that was God doing, okay? So just as a news report just came up a couple of hours, as I said, an emergency trackside braking system activated but failed to stop a Chicago commuter train from jumping the tracks and barreling to the top of an escalator at O'Hare International Airport. The event that led to the accident yesterday, which was around 3 a.m., and injured more than 30 passengers, might have begun with the train operator dozing off toward the end of her shift, according to the union representing transit workers. But Tuesday's announcement, or today, that a piece of emergency safety equipment might have failed was the first indication that the accident could have been caused by human error and mechanical failure. National Transportation Safety Board investigator Ted Turpin said a preliminary review showed the train was traveling at the correct speed of 25 miles an hour as it entered the station. Investigators said that they have not yet determined whether the operator ever applied the in-cab brake. Turpin, who is in charge of the investigation, said an automatic emergency braking system located on the tracks was activated but failed to stop the train as it burst into the platform. It activated, Turpin said of the emergency system. That's how we know factually. Now, whether it did in time or not, that's an analysis that we have to figure out. A team from the NTSB was also exploring how rested the train operator was before starting her shift and whether rules governing overtime had been violated after a union official suggested she might have dozed off. They plan to interview the train operator this afternoon, so we'll see what happens with that. And we're going to ask probably the operator how they felt, because we always take into consideration the fatigue factor. It's one of the things we do investigate, Turpin said. The operator, whom officials have not identified, was off duty for about 17 hours before starting work around 8 p.m. Sunday, but had recently put a lot of overtime. I'm getting tongue twisted here. Amalgamated Transit Union, Local 308, President Robert Kelly said Monday. I know she works a lot, as a lot of our members do, he said. They got to earn a living. She was extremely tired. Kelly said the operator took standard drug and alcohol tests after the derailment, and she assured him that they were not an issue. Asked whether she may have nodded off, Kelly responded, the indication is there, yes. Federal investigations hope to turn the scene over to local officials later today to begin removing the train from the escalator at the underground Chicago Transit Authority station. Imagine you are the one that's out there by that platform, and here comes this train to have injured 30 people. Imagine that. So it doesn't only happen in planes or semi-drivers, but you're looking at train operators as well. And I believe that if a train operator or a pilot or a conductor, whoever it is that's traveling with passengers, a bus, or even a semi, if you are very tired, you shouldn't even bother to take that chance, that risk into driving people, because who knows, has she been rested, she'd been feeling good, or what have you, this would not have happened at all. And also, the Gary councilman faces 10 months in jail. Now, some of the things are fair, some of the things are not fair. That's just something that just came up on my screen. So, and the Munster robotic team scores big in regional competition, so more power to them. And also, I want to give a shout-out to all the governor students. I have to say, you are certainly were saving many lives today, along with my son Omar and myself. They said every time you donate a pint, that's saving up to 3 lives. So I'll give a shout-out to all of those from the Hammond Morton High School, senior high school, that donated blood today with the blood, Red Cross blood drive that they had. So there were quite a bit of students. How many students you think probably from the time we got there? How many were there? I would say a couple hundred probably went through. Well, it was quite a bit, which was pretty good, and I want to thank them that they are making a difference in saving a life, other than just trying to get out of class, because some actually were there for a couple of hours. And me, I don't know what happened. They tried my right arm. I'm afraid to even look to see if I got a huge, gigantic bruise. The blood wasn't flowing on that one, so then we waited, so then they got me on the left one, and that took 15 minutes. Now, I was bragging last time. What month was that, Mars? A couple months ago? Right? A couple months ago? I had about 4 minutes or something to do my pint, and this time it took me 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, I took about 6 minutes last time, and I don't know how long I took this time, but I swear it was 3.
So I don't know what happened there. But all that matters is that I donated as well. I was able to do that, so I'm glad I was able to do that, to make a difference. And especially if you have that, was that O positive? Not many people have that. That one you can use for many other different types of blood, to give that blood donated. And also I'm going to bring a representative for the bone marrow donation. My girlfriend Julie Contreras, has been out here many times. She's from Illinois, has been out here many times doing the drives, the bone marrow drives in universities and churches. And Omar did his via mail way before she even came out here. The bone marrow, let's see. Right. And I did mine at Purdue last year at the Youth Summit from MOTEP, Minority Organ Tissue Transplant Education Program. So If you are a match, then you are registered already, so that's also a good thing. And that's just to make a difference, to keep things on a positive end, because there's so much negative always coming out here, you know. But anyway, all right, go ahead, caller, sound off here with E.V.E. Go ahead, you're on the air.
Okay, hello there, Eve. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Okay, I was listening to you and all the topics that you put out there, and I'm going to tell you the one that I just can't. I don't care what time of the night, day, I wake up, it's in my mind. There are two things: the airplane and the situation up there, upstate Washington, Seattle, way up there, where those houses are missing. Those two just stay in my mind. Yes. Now, what I want to ask you about the airplane, what about those, what do you call it, submarines?
You know, I'm wondering if they even thought of, I'm not sure if they even went to search there, because if they knew that they were in the middle of nowhere, I would think that would maybe one of the first places to go look.
Exactly.
And when I heard that just kind of, the light bulb lit on my head, and I'm like, now that makes sense. Why didn't they try there first?
Right.
Instead of looking for a piece of something on ground.
Right. Right. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I heard that China wants something, I guess, to prove that that plane is down there in that water.
There are people that are saying, I got to see it to believe it. You got to find me something so that I know to put closure.
Well, if I had a relative on there, I would feel the same way. But I keep thinking, how deep do a submarine go?
Very deep. Can you pull that up, Mars? I believe they go very deep.
Right.
The submarines go very deep. I mean, all the way down.
Exactly, because I think about, like wartime, when they were using those submarines, be sneaking in, and then once I get past that, I'm waking up in the night thinking about it. Then I start thinking, how many more people will they find up there in that Washington State area?
And then I don't know if there's a certain time, also back to the Malaysia, that bodies would be floating.
Yes.
You think? And it's devastating to even think that. How could you not think about that? And then in Washington, you're still looking for bodies. They're still looking for people.
Exactly. Originally, like I always say, I'm from North Carolina, but I've been here for quite some time. I've never seen snow like we've had it. Never seen
Not quite this long. I've seen it in 1979. It was bad where we could not get through streets.
Okay.
I mean, we're snowed in. The alley, the snow was up to almost 3 feet high. I mean, it was really bad. And everyone ran out of salt. All the hardware stores here in Gary ran out of salt. And we're all out there having fun, building igloos. We're kids. We're building igloos, right? We're building snowmen. We're having fun. But we couldn't get through. But that snow didn't quite linger as long as I believe this one has. I think that winter has gone as long as, this is, to me, history.
Wow. Well, anyway, in talking with people, especially some Christian religious people, they said, well, we're living in the last days, so we're going to see and experience and hear things that we've never seen or experienced before.
And that's true, because No, and you know what? Pay attention, and that's what I was saying earlier. Pay attention to everything that's really going on. Absolutely. People need to have a little change of heart and mind.
Exactly.
And the world can start getting a little better a day at a time.
Exactly, and start treating each other.
Hello. Amen. Exactly.
All right. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and you do take care.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate you as well.
Sure.
You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio. What is going on in this world?
To answer that question, I think a submarine can go up to 35,000 feet below, or down to 35,000 feet under the sea.
Well, that's low enough, I believe, to have found some bodies. And they say some got the shaky news from the phone call. Others received a text message from Malaysia Airlines telling them to assume beyond a reasonable doubt that their relatives did not survive. Others heard the news in person at hotels in Beijing and Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, around the time Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak made the announcement at Monday press conference. They've told us all lives are lost. A missing passenger relative briefed by the airline in Beijing said. Go ahead, caller. Sound off here with E.V.E. You're live.
Well, hello, Stevie.
Hey, how you doing, young lady?
Fine. I haven't
Wonderful.
talked to you in a while.
I
was
know.
listening,
Oh, thank you.
Listen to
Appreciate
you
it.
ride up and down the highway when you was on your way from Chicago. I said, wow,
Right.
that's a good one.
Remember the program, Where's Carmen San Diego? I'm like, where is E.V.E. today?
If she's not on the highway, she's in the airplane.
Right? Well, you know, I don't know if I'm able to do that. I think they have the Wi-Fi up in the air, so I think I could be doing that.
You might.
Yeah.
Hey, as y'all talk about the scenarios and the weather and everything,
Mm-hmm.
there was a scripture that I read out of the Quran, and it said, not a single dawn breaks out without two angels calling out, O son of Adam, I am a new day, and I witness your actions, so make the best of me, because I will never come back till the day of judgment. That was kind of...
deep.
Yeah, when I thought about it. So, you know, I'm in, even though I know a lot of people talk about the weather, the snow, every day that comes out, I just accept it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And just look at it like, okay, nobody's really hurt.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
Sun came out, didn't it?
It's beautiful, and it's still shining so beautifully, Saint.
Oh, and remember when
I
it first
told
snowed a week ago?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
The trees all down.
Oh, beautiful.
It was like
I love it.
It was beautiful.
You should see the pictures that I take.
Take some.
I love taking pictures, especially of the sun, the skies, the clouds. Some of the clouds have formation, and you'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's God talking to us. Somebody better pay attention to this.
Hey, E.V.E.
Yes.
The mayor came on this morning, okay?
Yes, I did hear some of her coming
And
on.
the people were talking, were they in the same city we in?
I'm not sure. I didn't see. I was hearing her, and I went into court before the phone lines were
Everybody
open.
that was, well, basically it was a lot of her staff.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, thank you. You're doing such a wonderful job. Oh, everything is so lovely. Oh, I was like, are they living? She said, I ride around, and I know about the pickup and this. And I was like, how could you ride around and the city is filthy?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you actually ride around, I think we have about the filthiest city in Northwest Indiana.
I have driven from different cities. I love to travel, and my job, all my jobs I've had has always had me traveling throughout both states of Indiana and Illinois. And it's sad to say that, yes, there's parts of Chicago that look just like Gary.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one big city.
This is the whole city almost.
This is one big city that, I guess the only nice parts, they're little pockets that look nice. But
and
downtown
Gary,
Gary,
upset when
my
you
gosh.
say that the city is filthy. But it is what it is.
It's a
I would love for, you know what, when they talk about, people down at City Hall and that they're hiring people to, what's that word they keep using?
Consult? Consult?
Consult. I said, I sure wish they could get somebody to come in and consult you how to clean the city up.
Look, I had suggested 2 years ago that we should start a cleanup day, a mandatory, Gary needs to hear this, a mandatory cleanup day where if you don't clean, whether it's your neighbor to help you, your relative to come and help you, then we're going to fine you.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
And Gary, we cry, we need money. Well, hello, let's start with us here, our residents. Let's clean our block, and the city can provide the hot dogs and the chips, okay? We all have a mandatory cleanup weekend. It's mandatory that if you're the elderly person, then, well, my mom and dad, they don't have a problem because there's plenty of us. So we'll go in there and clean. But my mom loves to have her area clean regardless, so she's always complaining, oh, this isn't looking right. I like my roses to look good. So then one of us will come in and clean and water her roses and whatnot. So, that's what we need to do. And then if there's an abandoned area, then all the neighbors from that block go down there and clean that up. Because,
I was coming down Taft, and there's a church there on Taft, like 24th and Taft, and they had a smaller church at first, and they built another church next to it. But right next to that church is an abandoned house. And it is filthy. Filthy. And across from the church is just the trees, blighted land, whatever, with the trees. And it's filthy. I mean, it's so much trash. I said, how do they go to church every Sunday? Come out to church and see all that trash, see it right next to the church, and it does not raise their conscious level. I don't understand it.
It's, I think we've gotten used to it.
No, I haven't gotten used to it.
Well, I'm talking about those that just keep on walking. The thing is, and I remember when my mom was able to, she would even sweep the street right on the curve where my parents or whoever would park there. She would sweep that. I haven't seen a sweeper. Do they come out here?
Yes, they have one.
Oh, okay.
It comes down Chase periodically, but E.V.E. They leave so much trash. You wonder what is the thing picking up?
What's worse now is with the trash not being picked up over a month. Can you imagine what these alleys are looking like when the trash was already all out of the garbage cans?
Yes.
And we got animals, furry things that travel with the garbage. And then the winds that traveled with the garbage. So I heard her mention about how dissatisfied she was, but
she's not doing nothing about it.
She said
we're going to start. I've been since she's taken office. I've talked to her every time she come on air about the cleanliness.
Well,
it hasn't. You know how you have an aha moment?
Yeah.
I wonder. I said, when is she gonna have an aha moment and just say, Miss Ledbetter, I got it together.
Well,
we're gonna start this thing and we're gonna finish. We're gonna start here. We're gonna go. She went to talk about Terrytown. I was like, what about your main thoroughfares? Now, there's one thing I can say about Helen. You may go up in the community, some neighborhoods, and see a little blighted, but all they thoroughfares, that man makes sure them thoroughfares is clean. Okay?
Oh, I know, and I was just mentioning that earlier, not to criticize any mayor, because I'll be there to help.
I will.
I came out here. My parents live downtown here in Gary.
I know. I saw the area they in.
And I cut off weeds that were an eyesore and dangerous to drivers and people that walk, pedestrians. You couldn't see the car coming from one street. And I said, well, okay, so when is this going to ever get cut?
Never.
Now, when is this going to ever get cut? So I did. I went out there. Two of my Gary friends were very kind enough to come with their weed whackers, and we all whacked those weeds down. That I think till today you can still see a car passing through. But what's worse, let me tell you, Ms. Ledbetter, I had a police officer tell me that I can get in trouble.
You can?
Wait, hold on. They told me, if an accident happens, it's your fault. I said, you got to be freaking kidding me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But the first cop that went through, he gave me a thumbs up. And everybody that passed through, they said, oh, man, thank you. I can see who's coming by before I run into the street. I would have to go halfway down to 6th Avenue to look in case there was a car coming. But I had to get into the street to see.
Wow.
Something that was just so simple, a whole corner of weeds. It took us 2 hours to take care of it.
And you know what? That's why I can appreciate Mr. Nowak. I don't care what nobody says about it.
You know,
he will get out and clean up. I have
seen him pick up garbage here on Broadway and 5th Avenue. He doesn't have to. He doesn't live here.
And you know what I said? Why is it that she couldn't have put Mr. Nowacki on the park board? Someone who have a love for plants, beautification.
Or is it that that's a risk, that he knows too much? Sometimes knowing too much can get people in trouble.
Anytime I get in I don't want somebody to be an asset to me.
You would think.
Yes.
But that only makes sense. But you see, I've seen, Ms. Ledbetter, throughout the county, in some areas, in companies, is that you punish the good and reward the bad. What's wrong with that picture?
Thank you.
What's wrong with that picture? I've seen in some schools that they reprimand employees for helping the parents and letting them know what really is going on.
That's why they got their money taken from them, too.
What's wrong with that picture?
Something is real wrong.
No, I'm going to want somebody that has that heart, that has that motivation and that inspiration to help our youth to be part of my committee.
Yes.
Because then I know things will get done.
Right.
Something's wrong with that picture. But join me and continue to pray for these people, because a lot of people need a lot of help. And you see, the world is wreaking havoc.
And you know what? People come on and say, why don't you move?
Why do we have to?
Thank you.
Let's just all have a mandatory cleanup day
Yes.
in the city.
Yes.
And if you don't, you will be fined $100. So imagine $100 times how many probably won't clean. And if there's an elderly person, that's why we got neighbors. That's why we
Right.
have family.
That's so true.
Something so simple.
Yes. E.V.E.,
All right.
you be blessed.
Thank you. You as well. Appreciate you.
Thank you. To keep up the good work.
Thank you, hon. Appreciate it. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio. It is 37 minutes after the hour, and you know what's coming after this, right? Coach's Corner. The one and only Coach Earl Smith. What we have here. The deepest submarine has gone 35,813 feet deep. Thank you, Billy, for the information. Appreciate it. Shout out to the Hershey's out there in Arizona. Please don't tell me what the weather's like over there, because I just heard what they all did to you yesterday, and it's rather hot to deal with water. Go ahead, caller. You are on the air. Sound off here.
Buenos dias, mi amiga.
Buenas tardes, señorita. ¿Cómo está?
Yes, muy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted?
Muy bien, gracias.
You know, I heard the program. I attempted to get in, but I'm glad I didn't get in. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I heard the mayor say something that was very promising.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that I employed years ago, and I mentioned it earlier. You know, most of us are innocent.
Mm-hmm.
We're innocent in this. The government, we have to concentrate on our livelihood,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of our families and everything. And no, I would not fine senior citizens $100. They're heavily burdened now. But I'll tell you what I would do,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what the mayor mentioned. And this is what I've said all along. And I'm glad she's picking up on
Mm-hmm.
some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I had said for a long time, you have council people in 6 districts, and you have 3 at large.
Mm-hmm.
They had been receiving money. That money is not theirs. It belongs to the populace. And to treat it, give scholarships or give money to special interest groups is wrong.
Yes.
It should have gone toward improving the community. Stay in tune with the community, get equipment, and urge people, those people standing on corners, give them a job.
Mm-hmm.
The job is cleaning the city. If you activate people
Mm-hmm.
to do something to improve and enhance the community, and if they come more in tune with working to keep the environment clean, then things will change. And, you know, we had a residential environmental awareness program over in Westbrook.
Mm-hmm.
And management gave us $500. And do you know I worked side by side with the children to clean up? I gave them $2. The older people, management donated by and different businesses donated food and
Mm-hmm.
and cleanup equipment. The park department gave us tools to work with. They picked up, we were supposed to put the trash in certain places, and the city was supposed to pick it up. But the most important thing is there were components of that program where each child that worked beside me, I gave them $2, and they went to the neighbors, their immediate neighbors and friends, and asked them to give them donations. That way, some of those children came back with $30 or $40 for just working for several hours, and I was happy for them.
And it was
another
a win-win.
thing is, outside of that, we had a court program. The court program was where if you saw somebody throwing down trash or something, then they were fined. And we had a court system where between 1 to 10 cents to $1 was the penalty that they had to pay for being caught being abusive to the environment. And they had a duty to pick up that stuff, and they got fined, and there was a judge, a prosecuting attorney, and all of that, and people that sat on the jury and voted whether or not they were innocent or guilty. The last component was taking in our recyclables. And from those recyclables, we were able to buy equipment that the park department could not afford to give us, because they were only interested in, you know, providing the space and everything and paying my salary. But we had equipment that we bought, like a pool table, electronic bowling. All of that stuff I offered to platoon to the rest of the pavilion. But that equipment drew in it was an attraction not only to the children, but it attracted the adults. So you had a comprehensive type. It wasn't just like the Boys and Girls Club, which catered to boys and girls, but we had a place where they could come. They didn't have to pay.
Right.
They could come and use that equipment, and everybody had a good time. And that's what we need. We need a center that's comprehensive, that's not only coeducational, but it also brings in family members, and everybody gets involved. And when everybody gets involved, the city will be clean. And that's why I applauded her. That's what our council people need to get out here.
That's what we need to
some
do.
of these people to be activated. But don't burden these senior citizens that can't afford to get out there.
Well, I'm sure there's a way. We're not burdening any senior citizen because there's plenty of us
to help.
Well,
you said that some people...
There's plenty of us to help.
I'm going to tell you this. I have seen people get out there and clean up, and I used to do it. And you know when the breeze is out there and the wind is high, it's going to blow anyway. So you would be out there cleaning up all the time. So what we've got to do is get people to clean up, and not only clean up, but don't come out of a store and throw something on the ground.
Exactly.
They could blow onto my property or something like that.
And you know, I have seen people from our own town do that. So if we're doing that in our own town, other people are going to follow.
They will do it, because I've seen people with out-of-town license come out of the gas stations on Grant Street, and I have seen them roll down their windows and throw something out on the ground.
That's
and
the
another
mindset.
thing, I remember some new neighbors had moved in. A garbage can was right by there where they parked, and they got out and threw that stuff on the ground and went on in the house. And the garbage can was right there. What's wrong with using it?
I know.
I'm going to hang up. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
We just got to change the mindset. We're all thinking because Gary looks the way it looks, let's just keep dumping things in it. So as residents, be mindful of things and don't litter. It is against the law, but where are police officers? I don't know. Don't get me started on that one. I love you guys, but you know who you are and not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio. Marzipan, you got something to play with. All right. Be right back after this.
Oh, yeah. The rhythm of the night. This is the rhythm of my life. My life. Oh, yeah. The rhythm of my life. Oh, special in an empty place.
is the rhythm of Tuesday night. It's going on here. Thanks for that music, Mars. You're really bringing back some memories. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio, 487 GI here, 24/7, 365. We are streaming live as well, and I'd like for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's Official E.V.E. or Eve Gomez. You can type it up and it'll come up. You'll see my picture, the promotion, where it says where to follow me on Twitter, and that's Official E.V.E. or at Official E.V.E. And also, if you want to email me any information you want to share with me here on the radio, you can do so at evegomezenterprise@gmail.com. That's Eve Gomez, that's Gomez, enterprise@gmail.com. And I was just pulling up on the mudslide. The rescuers scour Washington State mudslide rubble, toll expected to rise. Well, that's not a good thing. This is the latest news on that. Rescue workers combined through muck and rubble on Tuesday, left by a devastating weekend mudslide in Washington State that killed at least 14 people and left scores more missing. And authorities said that they expected the death toll to rise through the day. Even in hopes dwindle of plucking anyone else out alive, about a dozen workers searched overnight for as many as 176 people reported missing after a rain-soaked hillside collapsed on Saturday, swallowing dozens of homes near the town of Oso. Snohomish County Executive John Lovick said. News video showed rescuers equipped with chainsaws climbing over flattened houses. Shards of wood and tangled brush covered a square-mile zone of devastation zone that once contained a meandering river, a state road, and rural homes. With no change overnight in the number of people missing, local fire chief Travis Hott said he expected the fatality count to rise throughout the day in the slide area about 55 miles northeast of Seattle. The operational plan for the day is going to be challenging. The weather's changed and we've got some rain coming in. That's going to make it even more challenging for our folks that are on the ground there, Heights told reporters. The disaster ranks as one of the deadliest U.S. landslides since 10 people died when falling earth engulfed homes in the coastal community of La Conchita, California in 2005. Authorities say they were hoping the number of people listed as missing would decline as some may have been double counted or were slow to alert family and officials of their whereabouts. 8 people were injured. I believe, hey, there's Nowacki, speaking of. Shout out to him. I believe in miracles and I believe people can survive these events, John Pennington, Snohomish County's Director of Emergency Management, told reporters. But after 3 days, the operation was shifting from a rescue operation to a recovery mission, officials said. Rescuers failed to locate any more people in the rubble by early Tuesday morning, or today. So the last thing we want to have happen is people showing up in their cars and sneaking up on the pile, and they're up there working independently on their own. Dealing with devastation is what they're saying. So Barack Obama, the president who was in Europe for a meeting with world leaders, signed an emergency declaration ordering U.S. government assistance to supplement state and local relief efforts, the White House said. So imagine, put yourself in that situation. Can you imagine? Here we're wreaking havoc and we're complaining about snow. Really, people? Imagine you thought you were going to wake up and your house is no longer there, or you. Or your family's house has been just slid down with mud. Pay attention to all these signs, people. I'm going to leave you with that impact, that thought in your heart. It's 51 minutes after the hour. This is Sound Off with E.V.E. Pay attention to everything that's going on. I mean, from the snow that we're getting, and you're getting upset, and you're getting aggravated, and you're cursing, and you're frustrated, and you're showing all of that on social media. What do you think it's doing to the person that's reading it? What do you think it's doing to you while you're typing it or texting it, however you want to call it? Well, I think we need to change our minds and thoughts about what's going on, because this snow has not hurt me. It's the fool that was out there trying to speed and was following too close that hit me. So let's pay attention to all that. Pay really close attention to all that. We got to come together. If I'm going to criticize you, take it constructively because I'm going to be there to help you. But I'm not going to judge you. We have one judge, and he's going to take care of that. And it's getting close. So if I were you, I'd change that mind. Change that heart. We'll be right back after this. This is Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio, the Region's Choice, AM 1370.
You can feel what I am feeling, and the truth is just believing. You're my diamond girl. Ooh, oh, diamond girl. You're my diamond girl. Ooh, oh, diamond girl. Diamond girl, you make me feel like I'm on fire when you are near. You captivate me with your smile. Girl, you make me get so wild. Ooh, oh, diamond girl. Yes. You're my diamond girl. Ooh, oh, diamond girl. Yes. You're my diamond girl. Diamond girl, I'd like to know if I am getting near your door, which will only make me want you more. Ooh, I'm still coming through your door. Ooh, oh, diamond girl. You're my diamond girl. Ooh, oh, diamond girl. You're my diamond girl. You can feel what I am feeling, then the truth is just believing. You're my diamond girl. Ooh, oh, diamond girl.
You fit right on my finger. I'm so proud to have me in you. I appreciate you enjoy all your gifts. You fit right on my finger. I'm so proud to have me in you.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me. My time has come, and Coach Earl Smith is getting himself ready to walk in here and give you some sports, give you some updates, give you something that's going on in the region with sports. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio. I want to thank you for joining me Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock. Remember, this is the evening drive at 5, here live on Ustream and at the studio here in Gary, Indiana. Want to make sure that you know that you got to love yourself and respect yourself. Do it in a way that it can show. Shine and be that light you're supposed to be.
When we come together.
Take care. You guys smile, live, laugh, and love to love. Peace out till tomorrow. So stay tuned here on Sound Off next day, tomorrow, 5 o'clock. And remember, Coach Earl Smith is coming up, so don't touch that dial. I'll be right back here on WLTH Radio. Continue to listen, be blessed, be safe, and enjoy what's left here of today.